Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about adverbs, which are similar to adjectives in that they are descriptive words. However, they're going to describe different words than adjectives. Whereas adjectives describe nouns, adverbs are going to describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Okay? Adverbs usually answer the question where, when, and how. All right, for example, if we look at our first one, we moved the table outside. So outside is my adverb there. It tells me where I moved the table. Okay, so moved is the verb that it's describing. Right? Now, let's look at our second one. The picnic begins later. Here, later is my adverb. Okay, it describes begin. It tells me when that picnic is going to begin. Okay, all right, how the storm came unexpectedly. Unexpectedly is going to be my adverb. It's telling us how it came. Right? So anytime you're looking for adverbs, look for words that answer the how, when, and where questions. All right, now let's look at some of the different words they can describe. So we've seen a few examples of them modifying verbs, and we have one more here. So the ship sailed slowly out of the harbor. We have slowly, my adverb, modifying sailed. It's telling us how the ship sailed. Let's look at modifying an adjective. We all had a rather busy day of sightseeing. So the first thing we want to do is find our adjective. Okay, so I see an adjective busy, which is telling me what kind of day it is. It's a busy day. All right, and then I have this word rather, which is going to be my adverb that's telling me how busy it was. It was rather busy. All right, now adverbs can also modify other adverbs. The traffic moved very quickly. So quickly is my original adverb. It's telling me how the traffic moved. And very tells me how quickly it moved. It was very quickly. All right, now some adverbs modify adjectives or other adverbs by adding emphasis. And that means showing that they're really important or showing that they're really big or really great. So for example, to, very, really, extremely, and truly. Okay, so instead of just saying something is good, I can say it's really good. Okay, so instead of just a delicious piece of cake, it's a very delicious piece of cake. Okay, so adverbs can also help us in those situations by adding emphasis to adjectives or other adverbs. All right, now one good trick to know is that many adverbs are formed by adding ly to an adjective. So usually when you see an ly ending, it's a pretty good indicator it's an adverb. So for example, correct, all right, can turn into correctly once we add that ly. All right, prompt, same thing. We add an ly, promptly, and it becomes an adverb. Easy can go to easily and become an adverb. All right, now I put a list down here of some common adverbs that do not end in ly, but that are helpful for you to know, okay? And that's no, not, never, soon, later, and often. So these are words that we use a lot, okay? And they are all adverbs even though they don't end in that ly, right? Now, let's do some practice together, okay? For each of these, we'll underline the adverb and then draw arrows from the adverbs to the words, the verb, adjective, or adverb they modify or describe. All right, so let's see number one. Kelly tied the ribbon skillfully. All right, so I have an ly ending on skillfully, so that's a pretty good clue that it's going to be an adverb. So now I need to figure out what is it describing, what's it modifying. So I know that adverbs will tell me how, when, or where. So skillfully tells me how she tied the ribbon, okay? All right, now number two, last summer was extremely hot and we ran very fast to the air conditioner. So I got another ly word, extremely, okay, and I see that it's describing hot. Okay, it's adding emphasis to hot, telling me it's really, really hot. Okay, and since hot's an adjective, we know extremely must be an adverb. All right, this one's kind of a long sentence, so let's look at all of it so we can make sure we don't have any other adverbs. It says, and we ran very fast to the air conditioner. So I do see a word very, which is one of the ones we talked about up here, so I know that that's usually an adverb. So I'm going to underline very, all right, and it's describing fast here. It's telling me how fast they ran. They ran very fast. All right, let's take number three. It began to rain, and we all ran indoors. So let's take a look at this. I'm looking for words that tell me how, when, or where something happened. So my first one, got my subject it, verb began to rain. So nothing in that first part of the sentence. And we all ran indoors. So indoors tells me where. Okay, so that looks like an adverb. And it looks like it's describing ran. Okay, it's telling me, where we ran. We ran indoors. All right, now what I want y'all to do, let's go ahead and flip that page over. And I want you to go ahead and work on 4 and 5 on your own. Okay, so take a look at 4 and 5, underline your adverbs. Okay, remember that there could be more than one, so make sure you're looking closely at it. All right, and then draw an arrow from your adverb to the word it's modifying. All right, so hopefully we've gotten a chance to find our adverbs. Let's check it. So looking at number 4, the president will address the nation tonight. I've got my subject president, I've got what he's doing, will address, who he's addressing, the nation. So I'm only left with tonight, which tells me when. So that's one of our adverb questions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a line under tonight, and then draw an arrow to address, because it's telling us when he's going to address the nation. All right, now let's look at number 5. A large cat crept silently across my yard. So I've got my subject, a large cat, got what it's doing, crept. All right, now I see this word silently. That looks like it's telling me how it's creeping. So I'm going to underline silently, draw an arrow to crept. Now, across my yard, so that's a preposition which we haven't learned about yet, and then a noun. So not anything else in there. So we just sort of had it silently modifying crept. All right, so now everyone take a look at your independent practice. Okay, same thing. Underline the adverb, draw arrows from the adverb to the words they modify, verb, adjective, or adverb. Remember, you're looking for words that tell you how, when, or where. LYs are always a good clue. Okay, look at your list of commonly used adverbs to help you. No, not, never, soon, later, often, as well as to, very, really, extremely, and truly. Okay, so those will all be words that will commonly show up, so keep an eye out for those as well. As always, if you have any questions, we'll talk about them tomorrow, and we'll do a lot more practice with this tomorrow to make sure we're all doing good with this. So have a great night.